G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a QCQ171, not to be confused with a CQC, meaning Close Quarters Combat, although I'll probably call it that because that's its role. This is a submachine gun of Chinese design. Think of it as like a Chinese knockoff of an MP5 submachine gun with absolutely zero HK slap, so unfortunately there's no satisfaction in the reload animations. I've already seen this weapon before in the form of a LS7, which is the military designation for this thing, so it's going to be slightly different, but we've seen a familiar weapon before, so we'll see how the different interpretation of this weapon is. We'll get into the attachments right now. This weapon does require the MP9 and I think it's the ACP9 mod, so it's going to be taking those animations straight from that thing, so the animations and sounds are going to be pretty good, ironically from German submachine guns, but we won't worry about that anymore. But we've got some attachments. You can make this semi-auto or automatic, whatever you please. Automatic powerful gives us 78 damage and a pretty damn big boost to rate of fire there to offset the somewhat low damage from the 10mm pistol cartridges, even though 10mm in real life are actually kind of punchy, but that's fine. We've got a legendary effect, we'll leave this off, although I'm considering throwing explosive onto this thing. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Right now we've got a B&T unfolded stock. You can have an American adaptive combat rifle stock, a DMQT, or a QTUM. Pick whatever you wish. These ones have better recoil, and this one doesn't. Never mind, they all have better recoil. This is probably just an aesthetic change. And next up, we've got the sights. So you can have some American sights in EOTech. There's also this one, which looks like a COD knockoff of an aim point. The Hollow Sun here, you'll see that the glass is like white and also ethereal and see-through. Don't use this side, it's broken. But you can use this one, the QWQ, which looks like a thing that furriers would use online, to be honest. So instead of the UWU, they've got that. This is a Vortex one, which looks slightly more advanced, but I'm guessing there's not much else going on, or just standard iron sights. We'll throw on the EOTech because we've got a westernized stock. We may as well throw a westernized sight on it, and they can have a different range of barrels. All of these are basically the same. It says long barrel, better range, despite this one being demonstrably short for a barrel. And you might notice there how it's got that MP5K looking protector and foregrip on the front, which just leads me to say that, yeah, this is just a Chinese knockoff, a poor implementation of a mighty HK product, and I like it. We can pretend it's a M5K. That's what it was called back in Battlefield 3. And I think that pretty much covers it. You can also change your sprinting animation, so we can have a tactical sprint if we want. More of a sort of a leftover from the MP9 mod, which is a little bit more in terms of a customization. There's a couple of rails too. You can throw flashlights on, and you can throw laser sights on as well. The elevation of this EOTech allows us to have that laser sight in without obstructing our viewpoint. You can have the laser sight on, off, or a beam, or a dot, whichever you please. Let's go for a beam because, you know, we want to see where we're aiming, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so that's our barrels and everything. Barrels again. I'm not sure whether this thing having the integrated suppressor that you see is going to actually be suppressed. It's not looking like it's going to be, looking at the 78 damage that's not being boosted by Ace Operator. So looks like we might be going loud and proud through all of this, and this might be the only one that we need throughout this entire video, so buckle up. Welcome to the beautiful sands of Spectacle Island, 100% Mirelurk free, but we're not here to enjoy the sunshine and get a tan. We're actually here to use console commands because this weapon is not available on any leveled lists at all, nor is it craftable. So if you want this gun in your game, repeat after me. We need to open up console commands and we want to search for what we want. So we're going to type in help. The gun is called a QCQ, so we'll type that in. After a space again, 4, that'll narrow our search down to items that a player can hold, and then we want to narrow that down even further just to weapons. We'll just type in WEAP, W-E-A-P, short for weapons. Hit enter, it'll spit out a code for you. What you want to do now is you want to go player, full stop, or period, add item, one word, and then that code, F200403D, and you can type in that number if you want that amount of things, but you can type in either 1 or just have that as nothing after that, and that'll give you precisely 1 in your inventory, and you can tell the weapons in your inventory now because it'll make the sound and you'll get the notification that you've got a thing added. Now we can work in our tan. So a quick note about the QCQ animation set. It's from the APC 9, which is this, and as you can tell, they're not actually the same weapons as I go into workshop mode unnecessarily. But the animations, you can see that it's not particularly well suited for the QCQ, which doesn't roll off the tongue at all. If we go over to this one, it works a little bit better. You actually just whack the magazine into the mag well on this thing on a long reload. But this one, you just hit thin air and it just sort of clips into the thing. So that might be a deal breaker for some, but I'm fine with that. So we'll go and shoot stuff now. Righto, so here we are inside of Gunner's Plaza, and here is our QCQ in first person. Aiming down the sights there, the laser sight's a little bit misaligned, but I think my bullets will be going somewhat where the reticule on the airy tech is, so that's fine. And a quick look at this thing in third person. Looks like that foregrip is being ignored to the point where we've got our middle finger going straight through the center of it, but that's fine. We'll let that one slide. And now we can begin on shooting these guys. If we can get a couple of quick sneak criticals to start off, we can do a pretty good amount of damage. We actually just annihilated that guy. Unfortunately, no suppressors means the stealth fun and games didn't really last for long. And these guys have got some pretty nasty weapons on them, despite being chambered in 9mm. And I think that gunner there has got... she's got herself some sort of MP9? No, she's got the APC 9. It's the same gun, but different. She did actually do quite a bit of damage to me, that one. So I think we are going to be in a little bit of strife here if we lose too much more, because I know that for a fact there's a guaranteed grenade launcher drop inside Gunner's Plaza now, and if we don't have enough health to stand up to that and like get up after being knocked down, then we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. There's the bashing animation too, and I think that was Rooted that just activated there. I stood still, he hit me with his ripper and it come flying out of his hands. There we go. Nice little love tap across the chops there to finish that gunner off. And we're just over half health at the main break at half time. So we're on okay track at the moment, but I wouldn't mind just a little bit more power out of this thing, to be honest. I think a suppressor would go a long way in just giving us that extra versatility to use this thing slightly more stealthily. We could use this thing a little bit in VATS. It seems to have an okay turnaround with the amount of AP we're using in this thing. And before that guy grabs that bloody grenade launcher, I see you. I think it's as good as combat rifle, but looks like the crits can do a whole lot of damage. Granted, these are only gunner lieutenants and they're not the strongest dudes. And looks like we're dealing with a couple of flashbang grenades, so that's kind of scary. We'll just take cover behind this wall and grab full cover. Have a nice little defense bonus, and as they're charging in, we'll use full mag dump. We can kill them within a couple of reloads, I suppose. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it helps when they just stand nice and still. We can track the head pretty easily with this thing's very little recoil. And okay, probably gonna start throwing grenades around the corner now, aren't they? I could probably time Nerd Rage here pretty effectively, and that is not what I wanted to see. You know, the sunglasses were supposed to prevent that nonsense from happening, and whoops. Let me just reload this thing. This is the worst thing that could have happened. I've just been flashbanged like 3 times over. All within Nerd Rage. But we get back up, and now there's a grenade launcher around the corner. Okay, that's 5 that he's shot. I don't think he's got infinite ammo whilst using that. Yeah, this is why I didn't attack the outside of the immersive Gunner's Plaza, because, oh boy, I'd be in a lot of strife if I did. If that's the grenade launcher person, I'm in a lot of trouble there. No, that's the... I think that's the Gauss rifle lady. You know what? I'm just gonna crit. Never mind. As it turns out, 10mm doesn't have the best stopping power in the world. We'll keep you suppressed around that corner there. Jump over here. Copped one on the Overwatch. Well, I think this is gonna be over in like seconds if I don't get this run right. There we go. Every single kill that I get is a small win. If I keep chalking them up, then we can get our level up and we can begin the charge again. Okay, we've got to be a little bit more braver than just sitting behind a wall, pinging from this. If we just quickly sneak back into caution, maybe? Okay, the no-scope idea didn't work for that guy. That's pretty good. Apparently, we're just in a, like, 2013 COD lobby here. Where's the grenade launcher person? I think they ran out of grenades. They spammed them too much. Okay. I think we're just about safe at this point. We may have not even get our level up before this fight's even over. And you know what? Time to open up with VATS a little bit. Oh boy, that's a range stat, alright. That's terrible. We are in caution though, and the combat music has calmed down, so it looks like I've only got one dude left at this point. Depending on what kind of weapon they're armed with, this might go poorly, but that was a pistol, I think. Yes, it was armed with a MP443 Gratch, I think. So it all worked out in the end, but we are definitely battered from our attempts at that. And with that kind of power, I do believe there is absolutely no way that we'll be able to fight a monster. So what I'm going to do is we'll call in some backup. Quick note, post-recording, there is actually a suppressor. You just got to pick the right barrel for it, of course, and probably a foregrip to be utilized under that Picatinny rail. But honestly, I'm happy with the fights without the suppressor, but you can utilize the suppressor as well, so discount anything I say about the use of suppressors on this thing. You can get them, and it'll improve your damage thanks to Ace Operator. Alright, so we'll be running the Glowing Sea today, and we've brought some friends. That's great. I got Winter, Matilda, Big Sister, Phoebe, Rain. They've been putting in good work on the XCOM playthrough. And I've also got Lily, because Lily and Tammie are best friends, and that is canon. Every single XCOM playthrough that I do, they're like almost 10 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10 compatibility. And our first fight is going to be against a giant pack of ghouls, which live in this giant piss swamp. So we'll sort out the little ones before focusing fire on the big guy, which is that one. Ah, don't let him eat me. Need covering fire. Advance. Show them aggression. I got you covered, don't worry, in like 2 minutes when I reload this thing. And there's some rad scorpions. Take out the monster. The rad scorpions, take them or leave them. That's fine. They'll distract them. Really trying to kill Winter there, but it just keeps getting staggered. Okay, now we can take out the arachnids. Take him. Oh, he's in bad shape. And someone's been throwing Tesla turrets around. That would be Lily doing that, but okay, so far so good. We've even got dancing giblets in the piss pool, so even better. And we'll just let some radiation recharge the old energy shields there. This is a legitimate tactic, don't you worry. And that radiation will dissipate because we're in the daylight here and solar powered is currently active. But that's a nice little breather for the second part of this assault, which is the giant bloody mosquito, little bloodsucker. Try to take out the little ones if they get too close, but these ones are nasty. See, it's already dropped one of them. Going after me now. Luckily, we can revive each other. But Winter just got one-shotted by the bloody thing, so that'll show how strong that is. Lily's on revive duty. That's a specialist job right there. Honestly, those Tesla turrets there are probably going to be clutch because the thing will probably go after those instead. Alright, where's the thumb-thumb? Ah, it's attacking the robot. That's good. The robot's invincible. Okay, we've won the fight now. No need to panic. Look at us watch the DPS go. You've somehow managed to throw that turret into a tree. I don't know how you've done it, but that's impressive. And now we can clean up the rest of the insects. He's retreating. Take him out. Don't let him escape. And that is all job done. Everyone looks to be at full health with many stim packs. So we'll continue this assault on the last thing. Looks like we've got some cazadors or other giant bugs. How does that even fly? Surely that thing's too heavy to float. But yeah, don't let the Cazadors get ya. The sting's really painful, I guess. And you can see in the background there as I'm shooting at this sting wing that we've got our next foe, which is a Queen broodmother capable of lobbing acid in such accuracy that it gets me from like 50 meters away every single time. We'll go for the legs like an AT-AT, but we're not doing a lot of damage right now. We're going to have to close the distance and fight this thing very, very close for it to work. So we're going to be struggling a little bit here. Through concentrated fire, though, I think we can do it. I would probably back off, everyone. Like, don't fight it. Don't try to gun bash it either. If I see any of you do that, then nah, it'll be trouble for you. We'll sub you off. We'll put you on the bench. Alright, there's a rad scorpion there. He ducked in, saw everyone, was like, nah, I'll be back. I'll come back later. Alright, looks like we've got one down already. We'll go for the double revive there. We'll probably get an extra amount of health regen for that too. Never mind, they just got dropped as soon as they got picked up. That's the kind of power that this Queen holds. Oh, we're making a meal out of this one. It's a real Fallout 76 fight. Winter's going in for the revive. She's going to make it work. Just. Rain's got herself worked up here. Okay, Lily's throwing around her turrets. Okay, the Queen's going for the turrets. Now's our chance. Lily's all the way back there. Just kill it. You are woefully out of range there. I don't think that you're going to be having a good time with that. Now, question is that Tesla turret can actually go down? It's highly resistant. I might have to look at that because that Queen should have crushed that thing by now. That's okay. We're going to have lightning all over the screen like Palpatine's reaching his power levels, which are unlimited. Alright, I've had Scorched Earth fights that didn't take that long, so that all goes to show exactly what this thing is capable of, which is the saying, well, maybe a pipe gun would be comparable for damage levels, but pipe guns, at least you get, you can get suppressors on them, right? But I feel like there's more work that needs to be done with the world drop items. So that's just a bunch of Cazador legs spraying about. Yeah, I feel like there could be a little bit more work done for the attachments. Just add a little bit more, make the different attachments have different attributes that would make the gun better in some situations. But I think this is pretty good. You fun? Yeah, you fine there? You're all good? You got stuck on some rail and didn't want to move in closer? That's fine. But all in all, I think it's a pretty good weapon mod, but there's some room to improve here, and hopefully through updates it'll be improved, and we'll see this on the level list, maybe craftable, because getting it with console commands, well, that means that console players won't be able to get it, ironically enough. But I think it's a pretty good weapon. If you are not impressed by this weapon, there is the CS LS7 you could utilize instead, and that'll be a slightly better quality version, but there's room to grow here. So download it if you want, link will be in the description, and I'll be throwing a link if I can for an alternate version for Xbox players if needed. Thank you very much for watching, guys.